They'll be calling you a radical. Back to the Fukushima fight. I keep thinking about it's so frustrating. Where do we go from here? And how do we do this? Where do we pivot? What does it go? And I'm like, Kevin, you cannot give up. And I got thinking yesterday, I kind of snapped and I'm like, I followed my subconscious through the whole Fuku fight. A lot of these reports I've reported purely right out of my subconscious with no backups, not watching or reading anything. I've just done this off instinct, off knowledge, off my subconscious, just like I did my cancer treatment. Danish philosophy, medicine, that's exactly how I did it. Yesterday I used the word beat it for the first time. This guy prodded me, that's my wolf spirit. That's my wolf spirit. As someone's trying to cage me and I refuse to be caged. I got thinking this morning, I'm like, I'm as free as a bird, and this bird you cannot cage. I really am free, and this morning I got up right here, it's that time of year. I saw the first flock of tundras moving through here, swans. Last year they were right up in my yard. You're not going to cage me. The rats, the trolls, the NSA, the ping, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Why? Because I'm alive. I'm alive. I've got a second chance. I mean, really. Have I beat this thing? I'm starting to think maybe I have. I've been hesitant to say that because I didn't want to jinx myself. I know how this disease goes. And I hope I haven't jinxed myself. And I want this rat that went after me yesterday, I want you to understand, he's one of those guys who are really rooting hard for me to die. Seriously, there's a whole group of those guys because I took chemo. I wouldn't put chemo into my freaking worst enemy, but I was in a desperate situation. Really, really desperate. It's a Hail Mary. These are radical acute diseases and take radical acute. They're Hail Marys. I caught the Hail Mary. We need to talk about Fukushima as far as what's going on in Japan today. Major protests in Japan today. Huge protests going on in Japan. And I want to say this as far as the Fukushima fight goes as history, because this really needs to be recorded in history, and it's so important that the girls did it. Jan Brooks did it. Christina Radchik did it. Missing Sky, these girls did it. It was so important their work, and I'm hoping Jan, at some point comes off her sabbatical, the professor that she is. She gave us a PhD. As far as what happened in Japan, the recorded history of what happened in Japan, Jan knows as well as I do, is the people who follow this in a text, not this spew radical way on a screenshot, I got a FOIA dot. No. In the dynamic, told to tell exactly how it folded out. We were so heavily involved from the inception of this. There's been prosecution. The prosecutors in Fukushima and Tokyo agreed to prosecute, put people in prison over this, the cover-up, and the things leading up to it, including General Electric executives. It looked like it was going forward. It's been going forward. I listened to the hearings. They actually had hearings. Mikado translated for me on 12-12-12, and they admitted they were dumping plutonium water into the Pacific 4-3-11, just like I reported, which I did that on my instincts. I go back to Russell Means so much, and through this fight I've been thinking about his great words and his great quotes so much. I was born on the landscape. I really was, and I'm not going to let you guys, not my army, we have to fight on. I'm not going to let you put me in a cage. I'll die in the cage. If I go in the cage, I die. I know that, just like the wolf. I'm not going in the cage. I'm going to be free. I'm going to be free as a bird, as the tundra swans. I'm free. As they try to poison us, they try to poison them, they try to kill you, just like they killed all the eagles here. See any politicians or anything talking about it here? It's recorded history. They're protesting hard. They dropped the prosecution on the 28th. They just up and dropped it. That's why Obama's going to Japan on the 22nd, because their election's going up. They will fix and rig those elections over there, which they're famous for it over there. It's an election on. They're trying to reboot believe it or not, while Fukushima is ongoing. It's not going to happen. It's not a show for them. It's not going to happen there. It's a show for the rest of the world. Hey, look, that's how the IAEA's played this. It's pretty outrageous that Jan, Christina, I taught the communication class for a while, and I know men and women are very different. There's a lot of pieces of us that are the same, but there's parts of us that are very different. And I know for a woman to stand in front of a camera, or a woman to get on a stage, or a woman to, you know, do what they did, because we're under attack. But I mean, a guy like me, fuck. I mean, we're guys. Come on. You know, guys want to attack me? Fuck, I'm a fighter. I mean, let's fight. That's the way, and then we end up being friends. You know, but women, it's very different. And for them to do what they did took a lot of guts and a lot of strength. That's how important it was. Yeah, no wonder she's retired. I don't know how they've done it. I don't know how anybody could possibly fucking do this. That's one of my PAs says all the time, Kevin, you got endurance like no other. And I says, yeah, it's my wolf spirit, because I refuse to be caged. Just like Russell Means said, I do. I refuse to be caged. I will not be caged. I quit a $1 million job on Wall Street in the 90s because they wanted to cage me. I will not. There's no amount of money that could cage me. So going forward, my 311 supposed to be in Wendover, yeah. But I've been thinking, you know, we go to Berkeley, we're going to do that too, but I think I need to go right back to where I started from when I got sick 3 years ago. Right before Fukushima happened and changed everything. I was in Washington Square trying to coincide my socioeconomic movement post-ignorance with the 100th anniversary of the shirtwaist fire. By the way, where Megan Rice's dad taught. By the way, where de Kooning and Pollock were discovered. By the way, where all of it, everything that ever happened there. The abolitionist fight there, the Civil War fight started there. I mean, way back, all of it. All of it. Yeah, gay pride right there. All of it. All of it, these movements. That's coming right up, the 25th of March. So, you know, as my travels that I've traveled around, the best activism I think that I've had as far as the showing goes, and the activist was in New York City. You know, we did some great work. You know, we had some activists that showed up and actually helped me. You know, we've had a few. We had a few at Avia that showed up. You know, were born happy to help. It really did. Some great ones. Small handful. They're out there. My small army's everywhere in every nook and corner of this earth. We're small. But that's the way we want it. We don't want quantity, we want quality. We don't want a bunch of just mad people. We've seen how that works out. Mad people, and then they, you know, get co-opted by the likes of, you know, whatever person is on the right or the left, whether it be a right movement or a left movement, whatever. We don't want that. We want this movement. And we don't want, you know, these so-called celebrities out there who've done nothing. They've betrayed us, these guys. These guys have betrayed us. You know, all of them. All of them. Foxconn News has betrayed us. Michael Moore's betrayed. Even Cornell. I mean, I love Cornell, but come on. None of them have any answers. They just want to make more money. They just want to keep it going. Why wouldn't they? They've gotten rich. They're celebrities. They like their status. You think it's ironic? No, nobody. Nobody stepped up. I mean, we have the greatest funnel to 1% feudal system in human history. Ever. Ever. 3 full core meltdowns going to the Pacific. You would think people would be going. 30 years ago this happened, there'd be riots in the street. Millions and millions of people. It did happen 40 years ago. You know, the summer of 68, the fall of 68. Not now. I mean, it's amazing how it's worked. People say, oh, I've given up, you know, maybe we're getting a little older. Is that it? I don't know. I don't know. I surely can't put my thumb on it, and I've tried. Is it ignorance? Yeah. We saw Occupy when it rose up had all that beautiful energy. They did so much good work. But it exposed the ignorance of America. They don't even know what a tariff is. They don't even know what a usury law is. They don't even know what an antitrust law is. They don't know what a spent fuel rod is. They don't know what an isotope is. They don't know what gives them cancer when we know it gives you cancer. And why have I gone all in? Fukushima. You know, and I had this argument with the early occupiers. I was in Washington Square with the people that started Occupy. The early, Kevin, you've gone all in. You've gone Fukushima crazy. I says, because nothing else matters. It's the top of the heap. It's the top of the socioeconomic heap. It out-trumps your job. It out-trumps your money. It out-trumps your sexuality. It out-trumps it all. It's the air that you breathe, and it's forever. 3 full core meltdowns going. At least 3. There's multiple ones, and no one seems to care. They dropped the prosecution over there. It's outrageous. The rebuttal is outrageous. You know, I've tried everything I can, you know, and it's pretty amazing how people really, I guess it's a 10-cent soundbite. It's a, you know, watching 3 minutes of a YouTube video. That's it. That's not it. That's not it. This is a bigger picture and a bigger story. Now, yeah, I could write a book and you could spend, you know, I could go through the process for a few months and then you could spend a few months, we could circulate and end the book, you know, and I'll do that. I'm going to do that. But think about this. This is very, very important. Exactly 100 years ago, right now, 1914, in the same place, in Russia. I mean, what's his name was trying to capture the eclipse for Einstein and got World War I broke out. It's history repeating itself. It truly is history repeating. What's going on over there? They're not about, they don't want to become one of the Queen's colonies. The United States, colonialism never stopped, and I can't believe you people can't wake up to this. Colonialism, the English royal family, the only one that was left standing in 1914, 15, 16, 17, they were all cousins, including the Russians. They were all related. The one piece of their inbred family still stands. The House of Windsor. That's the only place on earth that system, you know, so they have captured, which was their plan the whole time, to capture the military industrialized class. So we do it for them, so they have our mass military. Colonialism never stopped. It never stopped. We as Americans are colonializing the world. That's what's going on over there. We're trying to colonize that part of it. And Putin's playing ball because Putin is just like, he's the new czar. Come on, Pussy Riot understands it. They get it. He's the new czar. Femen gets it. We need Femen. We need Pussy Riot. We need Occupy. We need Anonymous. We need Mothers for Peace. We need the Outlaw Project. We need plowshares to rally around Megan Rice's cry. We need us all together. That's why I call it post-ignorance. This has to come together or we're going to have another 1916 in your head. And I don't know if many of you have been over there. There's bodies so piled up they use nerve gas. Here's the difference. I mean, it's heating up again. It's, you know, we need our Waterloo this time. And this time we don't need that piece of shit English prick to freaking win it. We need to stop his ass. Colonialism, the royals, really, this is what this is about. These are the new royals. It's not New World Order, it's Old World Order. It's neo-epic feudalism. Come on, it's history. You know, we were the abstract gig. And they've tried to overtake it for years and years, and we've always fought back. The Civil War, the Revolutionary War, you know, the World War II, we fought back. It's the same thing in the same place, in the same dynamic. There are war clouds abrew, but the difference is very big. Nuclearism. There is a nuclear plant in Ukraine that has been captured. You talk about it, you put a picture up about it, you Facebook it, it goes right down. They captured it. It's very scary. That will be the weapon. And as the United States is those free market fairy tales you feed in, Koch brothers freaking hijacked. I mean, come on, Teabagger was no movement. Mike Lee's the biggest fraud in history. I mean, his house was in foreclosure while he's introducing a balance budget. Short sold to J.P. Morgan. He's a fraud. They're a fraud. The Teabagger movement was a fraud. The sell you guns, Golden God was a fraud to freaking capture you. Koch brothers, I mean, it really was the elitist power structure to stay thereof, and it worked. This is happening. This feudal system is bigger than it ever was in 1914, and including in Europe. Including in Europe. You know, yeah, you have a few countries with some sovereign wealth funds that are doing well. Germany, Norway, you know, some of the Scandinavian countries that, you know, because they have a sovereign wealth and they've been good traders. By the way, their sovereign wealth funds got rid of all their TEPCO stock a long time ago. They used gas in those days on their own, man. You know, that's where Einstein was a gas. You know, his best friend was gassing. We don't use gas. We put it away. We get rid of it right out here in the desert. It's happening, and you're too blind to see that it's happening. This has happened before many times in history. The Civil Wars that brewed up. Harriet Beecher Stowe, Tom Brown were screaming their heads off. Don't you people see? Don't you people see? And they didn't see, and boom, we see. I mean, devastating. We're on the brink. We are on the hardcore brink. The English colonialism, the American, you know, Barack Obama, the Royals puppet. Yes, master. Yes, master. He is an Uncle Tom. Has nothing to do with race. You are an Uncle Tom. The media, CBS, NBC, ABC, Reuters, Al Jazeera, RT. Yes, master. Yes, master. You, as Go get a gun, buy some gold, I'm safe. Yes, master, yes, master, yes, master. I like it in my cage. I like it in my cage. I was born in this cage and I'm going to stay comfortably numb in my cage. You in San Francisco? Yes, master, yes, master. Oh, it's God's will. I got leukemia. Yes, master, yes, master. Who's the master? The nuclear cartel. I'm going to take them on and I'm going to fight them. So, I think I'll go back to New York for the 25th and I'll do my own little protest. I got a couple people I know. A couple of you girls can dress up in the shirtwaist girls. Now look it up. Before the shirtwaist fire happened, look what kind of dresses those girls would march in Manhattan with. We'll get a couple people to dress up in those dresses. You know, and you know, even if I have to use a silhouette, you know, I'll get my daughter, the designer there, I'll have her make me a dress for to put on my, you know, I'll make a dummy. I don't know. You know, I don't care if I do this by myself. I don't care. I don't care because you're not caging me. You're not caging me because I'm as free as a bird and you're not putting this bird in a cage. I refuse to go in the cage. I don't care if there are 500 million people in this country, 10 billion people in this country. You're not putting me in a fucking cage. You know, and I'm going to fight this post-ignorance, and I see the war clouds of brew, and I understand that Megan Rice, an 84-year-old Catholic nun, and Nadia at 25, those 25-year-old Pussy Riots are exactly on the same team. That far apart, fighting the same thing. Femin, Anonymous, all of us, Occupy, we're on the same team. But we just need to fold it together under a post-ignorance umbrella, and we need to bring these things together, and we need hard, tough, strong detail. Change doesn't happen for politicians. We change politicians. That's the way it is. The nuclear cartel has to go, and one day you are going to understand that the evolution of the nuclear cartel in this 70 years is all that's evil, and it is all that controls you. And the master, Barack Obama, doesn't prove to you. He got schooled big time by the nuclear cartel. They don't ask, they tell. I mean, look it up how much funding they get. Where's all our money gone? We don't have any tariffs. You know, the only thing we export in this country anymore is plutonium. That's a fact. Plutonium. The Moxie fuel in 3 and 4, it was the United States' Moxie fuel, pointing at China. But they can't go after China because that's their workforce. That's the slaves. That's the Queen's shirtwaist girls. They're locked in cages over there in China and Bangladesh, just like they were in Manhattan 100 years ago. This is history repeating itself to a T. To a T. I'm not giving up. 1,000 videos. This is 1,000 videos today. You're not putting me in a cage. I don't care if I do this by myself. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care who follows. I don't care if you know, people want to join with me. They know how to join with me. If they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. It's okay. But I'm not going to be a caged wolf. Just because everybody's caged, it's okay. Everybody likes to be caged. It's all right. The whole country likes to be caged. Not me. That's why I beat this cancer, this hardcore radical. And yeah, and I took chemo into my body hardcore. And it was dangerous what I did. Very dangerous. I knew that, but I had no other choices. I had no other options. It was too late for anything else. It happened fast, and Fukushima gave me leukemia. Do not kid yourself. We know that now. And it killed a lot of my friends. I watched them die. A lot of my friends. I watched them die. You're not caging me. Because I'm as free as a bird, and this bird you cannot cage, and I refuse to be in the cage. You're not putting this... You can try, you rats and you trolls, and you haters, you can all try to cage me. Good luck's all I got to tell you. Because if it comes down to dying in the street or being in a cage, I'll take dying in the fucking street. If it takes dying on the landscape, as you guys saw me hiking with that central line out of me. If I was going to go, and I told my daughter, I said, look at you go with that central line, you're crazy, you fall and you hurt. I says, if I go, I want to fall off those fucking cliffs at the top of Waterfall Canyon. There's that video right there. I'm up there with the central line hanging in me. I'll take that over the cage. When I was in that hospital room, I used to tell everybody, this is like being in prison, on death row, for a crime I did not commit. I hated it fucking in there. I fucking hated it. I know what it feels like to be caged now. That's the first time I ever really been caged. And for nothing I did wrong. I fucking hated it, but I made the most of it. Just like Megan Rice will make the most of it. You know, even if she passes while she's in there, which I don't think she will, I think she'll come out even stronger. Same with Michael and Greg. They'll come out of that cage, and they'll be free again. And they won't cage them again. They won't cage them again. The rest of you, they're going to put us in a FEMA camp. You're in a FEMA camp. You're in your cage. Russell Means, I'll leave it at this. We're going to talk a lot about this on my radio show. We're going to talk about the girls of Fukushima. My radio show is going to be dedicated to the girls of the Fukushima fight. The girls. Janet Brooks, Missing Sky, Christina Consuelo, Rad Chick. We're going to dedicate it to those girls from the very inception. Pink, so many girls. You know, all you girls. So that's what we're going to talk about. All you girls that did the hard work. I'll leave it at this. Russell Means, who by the way passed not very long ago, who was a beautiful soul who refused to be caged. You take a wolf born in the wild. You capture him, you put him in the cage. He will chew on those bars and refuse to eat, and he'll spin in that cage and he'll go crazy and crazy until he's dead. You take a wolf born in the cage, he will live comfortably in the cage. Not me. Stay tuned.